music, whatever, things that aren't mainstream, if you go the wrong place, around the wrong people or the right people, whatever, and you're like, I don't like that, they automatically go, you don't get it. I'm like, no, I get it. It's just dumb.
Exactly.
I get it. It's just stupid.
And that's the thing, the pretension that comes with a lot of independent filmmaking.
Yeah,
There's a lot of just very, you have to like this. If you don't like this, and if you like a big budget movie, you're looked down upon with the actual community,
Yeah.
You got to really look at the fact that movies are movies. You like what you're going to like. I mean,
all of it's made up one way or another.
I grew up playing with these toys or, reading this comic book. I'm going to go see that movie. But then again, I want to think a little bit. I'm going to see this movie. It's just, but yeah, so there you go.
Definitely. Well, it sounds like we covered these topics pretty well. So do you want to move on to the foreign versus domestic films? I mean, they kind of tie into a little bit of each other because it's typically, American movies have bigger budgets than movies from other countries. So, it kind of ties in. So,
the biggest foreign movies I've ever watched have been mostly just like Asian imports, things like that. Because I never really the only thing I've really discovered is like recently there's been a French horror movie like Rebound. That's been great because they were just brutal movies. But yeah, I love like Battle Royale. Still one of my absolute favorite movies. And that's all produced in Japan and everything like that. And the sequel is terrible. But anyway, but I think it just shows a completely different cultural view, and it just gives a fresh set of ideas. That's the best thing about it.
Definitely, because like in recent years, Hollywood has been ripping off a lot of like the Japanese ghost stories and horror movies.
Oh, absolutely,
and so again, like it all ties into Hollywood trying to find new ideas and pretty much recycling other countries' ideas.
Exactly.
Instead of remaking our own. So.
Well, it's like The Ring and The Grudge and all that slew of Japanese ones that you're talking about. It brought a subtlety to American horror movies because American horror movies before that were just all about
like slasher,
things jumping out at you, and it was just about that value, but it wasn't about the creepiness. You didn't have that like slow building fear.
Yeah.
And that's something that is good that came out of that because a lot of American audiences would never see that stuff because a lot of people don't branch out and look for stuff. They just oh, hey, here's something in front of me, So
for me, I like watching movies from all over. I see a lot of like French movies. I see a lot of like Thai movies. Recently, I've been watching a lot of those. I'm always game for a good English movie. I love English movies. It's kind of like my first foreign movie.
English comedies are my absolute.
I'm not. I'm like,
I love.
I was about to bring up comedy actually. Like for me, that's one of those things that sometimes comedy does not translate well across country.
I think across language barriers, comedy does not translate well.
No, that's kind of
I just because even physical comedy sometimes because it's just the cultural differences too. It's just like man falling down, funny, but man falling down in a very specific way, not quite as funny. As the specific way we're used to when he falls into something and gets injured.
Well, that's true. But like as far as like. I don't know. I'm hit or miss with British comedy. Actually, like sometimes it's hilarious, and sometimes not so much. Like it just depends really on the movie for me.
I like the British comedy that's got the absurdity to it. You got that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Foreign stuff, new ideas, new cultural things, and that is the advantage of Hollywood picking it up. I mean, them copying people does have that advantage. You see these new ideas. Which is good, or a lot of people do. Honestly, would rather people just go out and find stuff, but a lot of people
do you
want to do that.
In general, maybe foreign movies? Like, here's my take on it. I think foreign movies in general are written better because I know in other countries not as many movies get made. So the ones that do get made, I think, go through a more selective process.
Well, yeah.
And so what results are, I think, better written and maybe better produced movies. That's my feeling. I've been told.
I could definitely see that viewpoint because it's. I mean, there are fewer things, but you look at something like Bollywood. I mean, they crank out hundreds and hundreds of movies. I think like 3 were just made in this conversation, but still, it's so they can't all be good, but. But yeah, I mean, I see your point. Hollywood does crank out movies like crazy, and you go to other countries, and most of the more popular movies in other countries around the world are made in Hollywood.
I guess that ends our time here. So we want to thank John for stopping by, and thank you for joining us on the show. And we will catch you next time.
Have a great 2 weeks. 2 weeks.